Grant Dania now.
It's Grant Dania.
The Gold Logie this year. Oh my God, it's Grant Dania.
And our mum, Shezzy Dania. She's really crazy. And George, affectionately known as Large Sarge.
It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
And George.
Yeah, currently in the editing suite as we speak, trying to figure out the opener video-wise, the visual side of things, right?
What are you gonna do?
I needed to get some montages of me for the and George part. I sent you guys a photo today in our group chat.
Yes.
Which I'll slot into this YouTube video. But you know how you like angle your phone underneath like a billboard or just a photo on a screen, and it enlarges the bottom half of your body and makes the top half of your body look really, really skinny.
Yeah, distorted perspective. Yeah.
It's like those mirrors at Luna Park that you look in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll use that. So get keen for that, folks.
I'm looking at it now. Your head is so tiny and your body is massive. It's outrageous.
It's a Fat Albert moment.
So that's not a modified photo. That's just the angle at which you took the photo.
Yeah, I took it sort of from underneath the screen.
You look like, is it Eddie Murphy in Big Mama's house? Or, yeah.
Just Big Mama, Fat Albert.
You can get one of those apps, like the face apps, where you can remember how cameramen used to do it all the time. Like it's called Fatify Me or something, or Make You Old, and you do it like as your
add kilos on.
Add kilos.
Or I can just share my diet with everybody. Anyway, today we're going to do something that's really, really lovely, because this is what this podcast is all about, making people feel good. Shezzy, you shared this story with me and it made me just get the warm and fuzzies. A farmer plants over 1 million sunflowers for his wife as a 50th anniversary wedding gift.
How nice is that?
Yeah, it's a little overdone, to be honest.
A little overdone. Why?
Come on, champion. How many did you say? 50,000?
1 million.
1 million?
That is so. That's how much she means to him. He planted like.
Yeah, come on, champ. You ruin it for the rest of us. That's
their 50th wedding anniversary.
What's wrong with going to the servo, at 5 o'clock on Valentine's Day, 5 p.m., and just getting the last skanky flowers that are just sitting out the front, wilting away, wafting in the petrol fumes, and then just taking them home to the missus and go, there you go, doll.
Yeah, you'll be lucky to make 15 years, not 50 years.
I wanted to know.
Flowers for you.
I wanted to know, guys, what's the nicest thing that you've done for somebody?
It's a big question.
That is a big question. I do nice things all the time, actually. So this is a great platform for me to talk about how lovely I am.
A nice thing you did was sharing that piece of content for me to make me look good for bringing a topic to the table.
Well, I think the nicest thing you have done, George, if I can speak on your behalf, if that's okay,
you can, sure.
Is the gift that you've given to entertainment. And also in the science field and the space race. I think asking an astronaut in training how you can have sex in space was possibly...
Well, don't give it away, because this Quickie comes out before the...
Oh, there's a nice little hot tease. Hot tease. Oh, does this come out before the episode?
Well, this comes out tomorrow.
Whoa.
Today. I don't know. It comes out sometime.
Juicy tease.
I do a really good thing for entertainment in the episode after this one.
Oh, it's so funny.
Well, what's the nicest thing that you've ever done? Clearly buy me servo flowers. That's not very nice.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, how's your ring going, all right?
Oh. That is nice. Yeah. I once paid for somebody to have health insurance for a year. They couldn't afford it, and they had a brain tumor, and they wouldn't be able to be eligible to be operated on in the public system if they didn't have health insurance. Yeah, so I saved up and paid for a year. That was pretty nice.
It was nice. Actually, come to think
that
of
is lovely.
How do we say these things without actually sounding like we're self-promoting? There's a... see, the thing about being a good person doing nice things is not needing to talk about how nice you are doing them. But we're here now.
Yeah, well, so Come on. It's just because you're embarrassed because you haven't done anything nice? No.
Oh, we once, well, we've done lots of good things.
Yeah.
I once saved a child's life. We also
Oh, well, that's pretty nice. What do you mean you saved a child's life?
were about to fall from the second story of a shopping centre escalator.
Oh, wow.
And I saw them there, yeah, and I was ready to catch them, and then I was their last chance, but thankfully I yelled.
God, how old was the child?
Only 4, maybe 5.
Far out.
The child was on the outside of the escalator. It was playing around at the bottom of the escalator on the outside of it, and his little hands were on top of the rail, and the rail started
that's
moving
terrifying.
along. He couldn't let go, and so he had to shuffle his feet along the outside of the escalator, and now he's 2 stories up. It was a double 2-story one. And then I managed to yell at this other bloke, and he ran up flat out and grabbed the kid. Just as the kid got to the end where there was nowhere left for him to stand, he would have fallen back. And he grabbed him by the collar and just pulled him over at the last second. I was sitting down just having a meal with a mate, and I just looked up and then just pushed the table out of the way and just bolted because he literally had like seconds to go.
Oh, my gosh.
I thankfully didn't have to catch him, but I managed to yell and then get the bloke to go up the other way.
So what you're saying is that bloke is a hero, the one
he's
that
a
you
hero.
yelled at.
You're right, actually. now I think
You
about it.
demanded your friend you were having lunch with to go up and get him?
Yeah. So I was still finishing
delegator,
my
aren't you?
croissant, and it had fresh butter on it and some cream and jam, and I wasn't going to waste it.
You were like,
As I'm spitting gets the croissant out, which you. Yeah.
That's so
Did
nice.
it surprise you? Did it surprise you, like, your instincts that kicked in?
My mate talks about it a bit, and it surprised him. He goes, "You're the only bloke, you're the only person I know who just jumps into action in an emergency with zero thought or requirement, and you go straight to fixing the problem." He goes in milliseconds. He goes,
Wow.
He goes, "Not everyone does that. A lot of people just kind of just." They're dazed or they're stunned and they
Some
don't know
people,
what to
they
do.
get
and
frozen
some
with
get
fear.
frozen. I get the opposite of that. I go G.I. Joe.
Well, that's supposed to be, I think, a sign of ADHD if you like,
Hyperfocus.
Well, adrenaline, when it kicks in, because I do that. When adrenaline kicks in, I just become very clear-minded.
Yeah.
I reckon that's also just a sign of, like, when you're live all the time, you're always thinking, how can I save the moment? How can I just, quickly continue on? I know it's a very different situation, but you're always thinking of how to keep the situation calm and look like nothing's kind of going on.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at that. No. No. When I did I've probably spoken about this, but the live, when I was doing on Sky Racing, and I was like
That's
calling
hard though, man.
like no racing experience whatsoever.
Live broadcast is hard, right?
thrown into
A live broadcast, even when you know what you're talking about, is hard. You were having to do the horse racing
with-
as a young presenter coming up,
Yeah.
knowing nothing about horse racing, and that's
Yeah.
a complex math-based numbers, odds,
Yeah.
terms that you are completely unfamiliar with. That
Someone talking in my
impossible.
ear, which was helpful, but my hearing is not great in that ear, and it was just a sensory overload. And I'm pretty certain that even though I had adrenaline pumping, I was not clear then.
That's
I was
that's
like, race
That's
43, blinkers, winkers, wankers. What? Sorry. Beep.
I get, sometimes in television when things are live, I've had like live grand finals of big shows where I can't possibly know the outcomes, and that's all being, the mathematicians are all putting that together in the control room behind me, but I'm having to host this live TV show. So there's no possible way of pre-scripting or having auto cue. So I can actually, someone can talk to me in my ear in full sentences, and I can repeat as they're saying it, so I can listen and talk at the same time.
It is an incredible skill
Which is
that you
amazing
do
skill.
And
have.
you can't tell, and no one can tell.
But you've done whole shows
We had
like
a direct,
that before.
Had a direct, yeah, we have had done.
You
had
did
to do whole
Dancing with the
shows doing that.
Stars once, I remember.
We had a director the other day goes, I've never seen anyone be able to do that so convincingly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should do it on the podcast.
Yeah, you're actually feeding me the words, and I just say them out of my mouth.
It's actually very impressive to
not
watch
really.
because when people are talking in my ear, I'm like, just that there's a brain
It's a
mechanism.
major distraction.
It's a huge distraction.
Even I think we bought a girl her Deb dress. Do you remember that? They're a lovely family.
Yeah, we did.
I think they were doing it tough at the time, and
Yeah.
and they were they weren't. We didn't know them very well, but they were wonderful supporters of the shows that we were working on, and yeah.
I think we're very lucky, like in the
lots of
industry we
things.
work in, like you're able to give back. We had a little fellow by the name of Patrick Murphy. He was only 4 or 5 years old, tiny little dude, and he had brain cancer. And he's just absolute icons, idols were the Avengers. They were his, favorites, and he's in very intense chemo and treatment. And up here in central Queensland in Rockhampton, we have like a thing called Capricorn, because we're in the Capricornian region and Capricorn, Comic-Con, that kind of thing. And it so happened that the Avengers were in town that weekend, and we arranged him and his mum to come into the studio, and the Avengers so happened to be in the studio as well. And
the actual Avengers?
Well, not the actual Avengers. It was me dressed up as Thor. No. But we had people who like dressed up professionally as the guys. And the smile on his face was huge. And it was a beautiful moment of like not just the radio station giving back and helping out, but the whole entire community just being really giving. And shout out to them if they are listening. Unfortunately, he passed away a few months ago, but that moment was just so beautiful. Seeing him so happy in his final months,
That's why that organisation Make-A-Wish is so cool, isn't it? For those little guys that are battling through the final stages, to just have that one moment of joy, or that one dream come true, or that just one little bit of shining positivity,
just something to look forward to and to raise their hopes. And that's
we've done that. Like we've taken lots of kids, who aren't well for rides in race cars over the years, and
took in a whole heap of PlayStations to the
that's right.
Children's Hospital in Brisbane, and then played.
That's right. They had
car racing,
which was surprised. And that's right. I was sponsored by PlayStation, so I was like, "Can you just give us 5 units and take it into the kids ward?" And because they only had one or something, and like so the queue,
very old.
The queue for it was enormous, so we just took them in. Anyway, I feel like we're self-promoting here, and that was not really. I feel uncomfortable doing this.
Oh my gosh, it's just promoting being nice. What have you done,
Speaking
George?
of, that was it. That was the nice thing that I've done.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was
I was just going to say, though, promoting. There's a moment in the episode coming up after this one that is really super duper profound. No, I'm being serious here. It's really profound, and it makes you really think about any kind of conflict, any kind of animosity, any kind of hatred you have in your heart. It just really... Do you know what I'm talking about, guys?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's a really special moment.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's
to get off the fact that we were talking about ourselves being nice.
I'm hooked, man. What those words that you just said have made me press click on this.
I
next
am
episode
listening
for sure.
to this next episode.
And if it's not yet out, I'm waiting for it. I'm setting the clock for Fridays. When's that when it comes out?
Fridays.
Friday, so I can't wait to hear whatever George is talking about. It sounds beautiful. Sign me up.
And you also want to watch the YouTube. Yeah. The YouTube show.
Watch
all right. Well, that's the longest
the
quickie. We're
the
getting
YouTube?
worse.
The YouTube?
I don't know. My brain's just clicked over into like no man's territory. It's like a sleep time.
Yeah.
Can we discuss let's set this up now. Next quickie. Can we talk about a thing called the myriad?
Ooh.
The myriad? Isn't it myriad
Is that a horror
like
film?
a whole lot of smaller parts or something? The myriad. Okay.
Not the myriad I'm talking about.
The myriad.
The myriad.
Let's talk about it next time. I'm making a note.
Is
Thanks
it a
for joining
man-
us, everybody.
Man period?
You might be onto something. You might be onto something.
all right.
What the?
Your boy has been crying a lot lately, and we'll leave it there.
Oh, my
Okay. All right.
God.
Next quickie. Yep.
This is
Got
interesting.
it. Okay.
You got
Good
us on the
topic.
hook, brother. Thanks for listening.
I'm
everyone.
running out of hooks. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Shezzy Denya.
Bye